Ed Gein, a notorious killer psychopath of the late 1940s through mid 1950s, did unspeakable things. And the reason why I wanted to bring him up today is I've noticed he's been getting like a lot of momentum here lately. I believe it's got something to do with Netflix doing their own show over him. I just kind of wanted to do this little video for myself because the story that I'm almost finished with and will be quarrying probably in the next month or two features Ed Gein. I thought I was, I can't really say original. I guess original is not really the word, but I guess I was hoping that I was going with someone that was like lesser known. Because I use the name Gein, but not Ed Gein. I kind of use his story, and obviously I used like the fucked up shit that he does, just kind of as like an Easter egg for people who may read it. I didn't really want it to be that obvious, but I guess if that ever, when that does come out, people are definitely going to know who it is now. But yeah, I just wanted to remind my future self that you're not a copycat. You wrote this character in a story 7 months ago. You're going to look at this later and you're going to be like, yeah, I did that. But, anyway. When I first was looking through, like, because I wanted to use some kind of serial killer for my book. So my book, I'll go ahead and just say the name because there for a while I didn't even want to do that. I didn't want to reveal that much, but the name is Chimtown. All the characters in it are already deceased. I'm not going to say how. I'm not going to give away any detail beyond that. But I definitely wanted to use like a lesser known person. When I had done like a little bit of a dive, definitely did not do a deep dive. I chose this specific character and wrote them in and just kind of did my own thing, and then just kind of ignored the rest of the story up until here about a month ago. I did a little more of a dive on the character because I started getting to the little more intricate parts of the story where some details had to come to light, and that's when I really started realizing like all the horrendous shit this individual did. I knew some of the gist of it because, like, when I was, like, maybe about 8 years old, I watched The Chainsaw Massacre, and I know that was loosely based on Ed Gein, so I had a little bit of an idea of some of the stuff, that he had done, but, I honestly had no idea it was as bad as it was. I wasn't aware of him turning people's skin into, like, jackets and the freaking nipple belt and collecting women's ovaries like all the way like from the age of like 15 and was collecting them in a box. And when I like went in to actually like look into the charges, like he only got charged with like what, like 1 or 2 killings when they had like all this evidence of like body parts that cannot be collected from a grave. So like I was really stunned when I saw all that. Clearly the person was insane and they weren't going to get like the charge that they obviously deserved, but just the fact that some of that stuff was just kind of like glossed over, just like ooh, like it really like fucked me up. I ain't even gonna lie. And it's like some other details of him where he was like babysitting children, and the fact that his brother was actually like a good person, would actually go out and do deeds for the town. Just like, what the hell? Who is this person? My God. And at that point I actually got really sick to my stomach. This was a month ago. This was like when I was almost, like I'm basically done with it now. I just have to do like 2 summary chapters just to kind of wrap everything up, and it's done. Like the main plot is done right now. But a month ago, like I was almost there, and I had actually considered taking this character out of my story, just because I'm like, you start getting like, like these morals, because like at the end of the day, all we're doing is making these people like more famous, like, and that seems wrong, like, because when I was reading into all this stuff, like, there's really no mentioning of like the victims, like, the ones that they were able to confirm, they used their names, but for the most part, these people are just kind of like thrown out to the quantum wind, completely forgotten about. And meanwhile, this crazy motherfucker is going to be remembered forever. So I've been kind of like sitting on that, on a moral level. Yeah, just, I don't know, it it makes me feel bad in a way. Like, I shouldn't feel bad because, like, obviously this person's already super famous, and places like Netflix are going to make this person famous on a level that I could never do. So just a lot I've just been really thinking about and mulling over in my head. I'm sure, other authors out there probably, maybe feel the same way if they do like a thriller or horror series or books or whatever, what have you. Yeah, so I just kind of want to just throw that out there. Thanks so much for listening to my little rant. It's really been kind of gnawing on like the innermost part of my brain. So thank you guys, and I hope you have an awesome week/weekend. I'm sorry for doing all this like turning. Like, usually I'm very still, but I think this whole topic does make me quite anxious, as it should. It's a very disturbing topic and not something that I'm as comfortable with these days as I used to when I first got into the horror world. I'm not really sure like where all this sympathy has come from. Like, when I ain't gonna lie, like when I first started writing horror, I was like, oh, this is so cool, this is thrilling, and now I'm like looking at it from a whole different light, and I'm just like, damn.